What's going on? Welcome to Pull the Pin Podcast. It's your buddy Ty, Dan. Tom will join us here shortly. He's taking care of somebody at the store. We're here today to talk about the American Express Championship and the Abu Dhabi Championship. Let me tell you, man, last week we were pretty spot on. I made some money.
Yeah, you did make some money.
I made about $500 last week.
Big ones.
So we know what we're talking about. Dan, where do you want to start today, man? You want to start Abu Dhabi or American Express? I know you're pumped about the Abu Dhabi. I thought you might want to get the Amex out of the way first.
Yeah, we'll do that. I guess. Sounds good.
All right, so American Express Championship coming up this weekend. It's a good field. PGA West and the Nicklaus version as well. The event is a lot stronger this year than normal. It's usually a long shot win because there's not a lot of talent there. There's not a lot of big names. That is not the case this year. As you know, you walk in with guys like Patrick Cantley, Kevin Na, who won last week. You also have Patrick Reed, and then obviously the season debut and comeback of Brooks Koepka.
Yep.
So where do you think that Brooks Koepka sits here this week? You think he comes out and plays well?
Lots of new equipment in the bag.
Yeah.
So,
Strix on?
We'll see. Got full set of Strix on, irons, and apparently playing their driver now too. So I don't know what that's going to do to the game, but we'll see.
I think my big question with Brooks Koepka right now is this: like, were those four majors in a short period of time a just unconscious spurt like Jason Day had a couple years back, and now he's just the player that he is? Maybe he wins a tournament here or there, but certainly have not seen that dominant presence out of him.
The same argument for Jordan Spieth, too.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I don't even put that into the equation right now. He's so far removed that it's just not worth talking about. But you know, I'm curious to see how Brooks comes out and plays today. I'm not going to bet on him. He's not getting any of my money. In fact, this is a tournament that's a tough tournament to bet on. For me, my advice on a betting scale before we get into picks is lots of bets, little money. Yep. So you're betting your top 10s, you're betting your top 20s. Try and sneak a top 5 or 2 bet in there, and then pick a couple of guys that are going to benefit you if they win. That's kind of the formula I used last week, and it worked out. Use the old Wolf of Wall Street line. I'd like to be judged on my losers, not my winners, because I have so few. I tore it up last week, and you know we're going to keep running with that. If you're watching and you have any questions about guys on our opinions on what they might do this weekend, go for it. Tommy's about to log in here. Tommy, we started with the Amex, and then we're going to go into Dubai. A couple of names that really stand out. Obviously, we already talked about the Brooks Koepka debut. I think this is a tournament that sets up really well for a kid like Cameron Champ or a Matt Wolff, a guy who really pounds the ball off the tee, is a good wedge player. That just seems to be a great setup here. Any input on that, Dan?
I think Matt Wolff's going to come out firing for sure.
I like him to win a major this year. Not to interrupt you, I really like Matt Wolff.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that pick.
Right.
I don't think he's playing in this. Mark Howell's not playing in this.
No, I don't think he is. No, he's not.
I think he's going to win another major this year for sure. But yeah, no, Cameron Champ you can't really go wrong with. I'm sorry, long shot. Phil's going to do well. He's not going to win.
You turn your volume off and mute your mic.
Phil's going to do well, but he's not going to win.
No, I like Phil for a top 20.
Yeah.
I think
he'll play well.
The sad part of it is that the odds just have Phil. It's not worth the bet.
No.
So if you're watching this as betting advice, betting on Phil is just not worth the bet.
It's never a good idea.
Sure it is if it wasn't like, I think he's like plus 500 to be in the top 20. Yeah. That's not worth it. Like I'm going to throw money on somebody like Adam Long, who won in 2019 and, instead of, somebody like Phil to finish in the top 20, top 40. Yeah, Scotty Scheffler is playing. Yep.
I like Scheffler. I mean, hey, anybody
He
who
hasn't
shoots
played in a
59 is
while.
I got a mark next to him. I'll tell you a couple of. I like Russell Henley in this tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. At least as a top 10 type of pick. I think.
Mark Wilson. I haven't seen his name ever, man. That's the champion tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, with like going back to the Russell Henley point, he's a great wedge player.
Yep.
He loves playing. His only wins are on Bermuda grass.
Yeah.
It's a Bermuda course.
Right.
He's played well lately. I like him a lot to be in the mix.
I am shocked to see Russell not playing
Oh, there's a couple of guys in. Yeah, you have to.
Big question.
I mean, he's more European tour.
Yeah, but the guy's big tournament. He qualifies.
Right. I don't know that he is.
You know what I mean?
I mean, he's not like a Justin Thomas who just calls and says, "I'm going to get it."
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You're not
He
wrong.
doesn't have that star power. To walk into a tournament and be like, yeah, so like I'm playing.
So, Tommy, you weren't here when we were talking about Brooks Koepka. You have any input on Brooks?
Well, on the trip very interesting.
Yeah, the equipment change is kind of an interesting situation.
But I mean, great irons. Yeah, we'll see about the woods. That's the question.
Tommy, your boy is playing this week.
I'm gonna get to it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we might as well jump into it. So, your boy's playing this week. You've been waiting for him to get a start. He's got to try and get himself back into the top 50 to play in the Masters.
Yeah.
There's actually a couple of guys in this tournament who are fighting for that. But anybody that's watching that doesn't know what I'm talking about, Ricky Fowler, who's one of Tommy's favorites. Where do you sit, Tommy? What are you feeling?
Well, $100 on the so
Woo wee!
right out the gate.
You're
Oh my goodness!
Hear me out, all right? Ricky Fowler loves to be liked, all right? And he loves to be like the center of attention. And he hates when he falls out of that. He gets. I think he'll be a guy he'll be like a Sergio who won a major late in his career. Once he starts going from like one of the best player to not win a major yet to being the best player who never won a major. Once that narrative starts to change, that's when he'll win. He is the kind of guy that's like, he's your buddy that you go drinking with, right? And everything's good. Everyone's having a good time, and then someone says some shit about him, and he knocks you the fuck out. That's who Ricky Fowler is, all right?
You think?
And now he gets voted, most overrated player on tour, immediately wins the Players. First time since he's been on tour, he's not going to get invited to the Masters. You're telling me he's not going to turn around and say, fuck you, I'm going to win? Absolutely he's going to go out and say he's going to do that.
Listen, if he does win, I'm going to be extremely happy.
Yeah.
Like, extreme, because I love Ricky Fowler.
Sure, I like Ricky Fowler a lot. I'm not. I mean, I've already said how I'm betting this tournament. I'm not putting big money on anybody. Lots of little bets. Like $5 bets here and there, and I'll probably bet on 15 or 16 people for some top 20s, top 25s. I think the field is too. I'm not going to say too strong because it's not that strong. When John Rahm dropped out, a lot of the field,
Why did he drop out?
It doesn't say he's injured. It's a personal thing. It looks like, but there are just too many guys right now that are close to winning to say, yeah. I mean, you got a guy like Brendan Steele who blows it last week, but played great the first 3 days. So I mean, he could come out and play well again. You got a couple other guys that you look at here, like Sam Burns is a guy who could make a jump here and win a tournament. I just don't want to. I'm not throwing big money on anybody in this tournament.
There's another guy that I'd be wanting to put some money on this week, and I'm not on his bandwagon whatsoever. But somebody who's I think posed to break out. I think he was way overhyped when he first came out. Kind of lost some of that luster, and people kind of gone away from it. I haven't talked about him a lot. It's Cameron Champ.
I brought him up. I think when people talk about good young players, he should be talked about more. He is, gargantuan off the tee, and he can. Exactly, yeah. So Cameron Champ is a guy that could really go out and win this tournament. Dan and I talked about that right out the gate while you were taking care of a customer.
Yeah.
We fully believe that. I like Cameron Champ. I like Matthew Wolf. I like Tony Finau out in the desert.
I was just about to say the same.
You know, here's a guy that he sooner or later these guys have to get over the hump. And it seems like right now guys are. It just seems like that's where the game is. These guys are all hitting their late 20s, early 30s, and they're starting to make that maturity hump where they kind of bust over it and they start winning tournaments. And I think that, you know, that's why this is such a tough field to bet. That's why you're betting top 20s, top 15s, top 10s. And, you know, maybe throw a couple top 5s in there and then pick 4 guys to win that are worth the value. Like, for instance, if you're going to bet on, if you want to take a long shot, you take a guy like Will Gordon on the move. You take a guy like Will Gordon as a value pick because he's plus 25,000. And if he ends up having a big week and you bet $5 on him, you make a ton of money.
Yep.
You know, so I think that that's kind of the big, you know, one of the big parts of this tournament that you need to pay attention to.
I also like, you don't mind me saying, Joel Damon.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Joel Damon is so good at golf. And he's also very good at desert.
Yes, he is. That is his. That's his game.
I feel like he would be like he's just an overall good.
Look out for play, guys. He just played them in a scram. Joel Damon.
Just talking, I don't know if we posted it yet, but I know we just shot some videos yesterday.
Yep.
You know, with Dan,
Giving some
and a
lessons.
few guys, teaching some lessons.
Yep.
One of them was very basic, and one of them was a little more in depth with like attack angle and dynamic loft.
Yep.
Is just going back to Cameron Champ for like 5 seconds. Is we're talking this whole lesson about hitting up on the ball and how important it is. Cameron Champ hits like 2 degrees down on the ball and already hits it like
Right.
330. Imagine if you ever decided, you know what? I'm gonna be like Rory McIlroy and hit 6 degrees up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be stupid. And then he putts, and then he learns how to hit some wedges, and it would be over. It would just be over.
No, he is a good young player that does not get the hype that he deserves.
Yeah.
He got more hype when he was on like the back of the Corn Ferry.
That's a fact.
Like
Couple of guys to think about this week. So we're running through the Amex here for anybody just joining us. Running through the Amex and some guys that I like to throw some money on. I already tooted my own horn, so that means that I'm not going to make any money this week. I made a ton last week.
Yeah, I didn't make any bets, but if I had, I would not have made any money.
But you've got Chris Kirk, who kept himself alive last week, who is playing really good golf. You've got Pat and Kazire. They just happen to be next to each other alphabetically on my list here, too, which makes it even easier.
Yeah.
Both of those guys are playing really good golf coming into this week. You know, they fit that mold of the young guy getting ready to take a step. And they're both playing good golf. They're both guys that I honestly think have a good shot at not maybe winning the tournament, but winning you a bet in the top 5, top 10, top 20 section. You're not going to make a ton of money in the top 20 section. You're going to make some money in top 10, top 5. So, you know, you got to look at those guys when we're going through here. How's everybody feel about Paul Casey this week? He hasn't. It's a long layoff.
That always scares me because I mean, it could go either way. He could come out and win the damn thing, or he could miss the cut. You know.
Right.
But I mean, I'd lean towards more missing the cut. Yeah. I think this is for a guy like Paul Casey, even though he's not a major winner yet. You know, this is a tune-up for
Yep.
the upcoming season. This isn't like his event. You know.
Right.
I wouldn't be throwing any money at him if I was. You know.
You always have the long shot here, too. A guy like Jason Duffner, who won in 2016. I mean, you got to love a guy with a big old chew in his cheek out there pounding the golf ball.
I'm kind of shocked that we haven't said a single thing about Gary Woodland.
He's starred on my list. I was getting there. I was kind of working my way down. Francesco Molinari and Gary Woodland were next on my list to bring up. I don't see Molinari doing much, but he's somebody that everybody knows who he is, so people bring him up. I don't think that this fits his game. I just don't.
Yeah. Well, you know, we've been talking a lot about top 5, top 10 picks.
Yep.
You're not considering Lanto Griffin after the last 2 weeks.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, Griffin's a great pick.
Guy's been playing well. You know, we actually talked a little bit about him 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
And we were laughing. Like, did you take him in your team?
Yeah.
You You took him on your team.
Yeah, he played well.
Yeah, he played
Yeah.
well, but they went out again and played well last week.
Yep.
And I think he's just going to continue to ride. There's nothing, he hasn't hit that. We always talk about the trend, like you build, then you get that win, and then you kind of plateau. Well, he hasn't reached that point yet, but like he's still building. He has all this momentum going, and if you just want like a good, probably value top 5, top 10 pick, Lance Griffin.
Well, it's also too like you get these guys who win at like 22 under par, but you
Yep.
forget that like in 8th place they're shooting 18 under.
Yeah.
Right, and that's
Yeah.
Lance Griffin. Like it's not like the guy's going out and shooting 3 or 4 under for a whole tournament. Like he's casually going out there and shooting almost 20 under in some of these tournaments. But
We'd be remiss if we didn't talk for one moment about something that's not tournament related at all. Tiger Woods undergoing a 5th back surgery. He now has as many back surgeries as he does Masters wins. Just a quick update on that. I was reading earlier today that he's already hitting balls. This was not a huge procedure.
Yeah.
It was a discectomy. So just in case anybody that's watching is curious if we know what's going on with Tiger Woods, we do. I fully believe he'll be back by the Masters with a tune-up beforehand, at least 1, maybe 2. So anyway, just to throw that little bit of info in there.
It was breaking news yesterday, but even on Golf Channel, I didn't see.
It was breaking news because it was Tiger Woods. I mean, that's about it. If it wasn't Tiger Woods, it's not breaking
Well,
news.
if anybody can figure out a recipe for recovering after surgery, it's Tiger.
He's probably already got one.
Exactly.
All right.
Talk about Chris Kirk. Yeah,
Yep.
Chris Kirk,
We did mention Chris
I'm
Kirk.
just trying to feel, I know I got a little late to the party here. I'm just trying to feel less seeing if we're here. Don't bet on Lahiri.
No, I'm with you.
Talk about Luke List at
I'm
all.
surprised you haven't mentioned your boy Troy Merritt.
The only guy he picked last week that made the cut.
He gave it a run.
Yes, he did. Troy Merritt.
Hey,
Troy Merritt, if you ever watch this podcast, just know you got one fan here.
Look, I'm just saying.
And it's
It
not
wasn't
that
my best week. I had a much better week 2 weeks ago, but if I'm gonna have one of my picks make a run, I want
Hey.
my big money pick. You know?
It's
All I
funny,
got to
it's
say
funny
is
that
this. We have not had a week of this podcast where one of us did not have money picks.
Yeah, sure.
Look. I mean, I pulled him out and had a 20 plus 25,000, and he made a run. So
Yep.
I mean, catch me outside. I guess I don't know.
Catch me outside, he says.
Can we talk about Luke List at all? I love Luke List.
He's a great player.
I have no idea who's gonna do well. Don't bet on him, but I love Luke List.
I don't like anybody that is. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not an overly long course, but there's too many big hitters that can make this course short in the field. That you better.
CT Pan at all?
No, we have not brought up
Also,
CT Pan.
Also, have just completely not mentioned that Kevin Na just wanted his play.
I mentioned it. I said Kevin Na's in there.
Did we?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
He finished
my-
seventh.
He's not gonna win.
My
He's not gonna
philosophy
win.
is once you hit the win, unless you're Tiger Woods, you go
Right.
Like, if you're not a top
Yeah.
5,
He's not gonna
top
win.
10 guy, you win. You're not gonna come out and miss the cut this week. Like, he's not gonna do it.
You don't think he's going to do anything?
Oh, he finishes in the top 20.
Yeah, I would. I don't know if it's top
Yep.
10.
No, I'm top 20.
Top
Top 20.
All right, well, I'll give you top 20 maybe, but he's not gonna come out and hit 10. Let's say that. Realize, like,
No, that's fair.
back 9 to Sunday, Kevin Na's not gonna be a factor. Let's just say that.
Okay.
He finished 17th here last year. He's had some success on this course. I see Kevin Na competing. I just don't think he is in the top
I'm
10.
surprised Alex Noren's not now.
I'm telling you, there's some guys in here that I'm like,
That
why are they not in Dubai?
listen, I continue to say that this field is a whole lot stronger than everybody wants to talk about. That- And then you had to bring up Pat Perez. I think it's funny that we haven't talked about Patrick Reed at all. We just never talk about
No.
Patrick Reed. We all hate Patrick Reed so much.
Patrick Reed.
But there's another one. I'm surprised he's not in Dubai.
That is
Yeah.
actually very good.
Like after last year where he played over there all the time, like because
You know,
everybody
like,
in the
you know
States
why
hates
he-
him.
Yeah, exactly. He literally played over there because he's like, yeah, nobody over in the States likes me. So I'm just going to go over there. But it's the same story over there, too. So
Yeah. No, I think that
pretty much nowhere you
Someone
can
who
go.
follows me on Twitter, Cameron Tringale. No apparent reason, but he follows me on Twitter.
No apparent reason.
because you hit the ball 340 at Overlook
I guess so.
in 35-degree weather.
43.
They cannot. They
Come
have
on, man,
not
we're just
stop
trying
talking about this 340-yard
I'm
drive
just giving you facts.
since it happened.
I think it's funny that it was a 340-yard drive that we talked about, but I holed out the hole before from 131 yards.
You know what? It's fine.
I'm not busting you.
Sorry.
I'm jealous I can't hit the ball 340 yards.
Trying
It's a
to
big
keep
boy.
my
I
mouth
need a
shut,
big
but
kick.
all right.
Yes, Dan, you're 16 under par over your last 4 rounds.
I'm
No
just
one
trying to keep my
cares.
mouth shut. I'm just trying to keep my mouth shut. That's all I'm doing.
All right. Anyway, let's get back to work here. Anything else we want to go over on the Amex before we make some picks?
Another kind of random guy that I'd say watch out for is Kyle Stanley.
Kyle Stanley, you like Kyle?
Actually, Kyle Stanley's a good player.
I mean, just looking at some like mid-value guys that like I'm always about to win
Yep.
personally, but like if you're just looking for some like mid-value guys to get like some top 5s, top 10s, maybe a win.
Eric Van Rooyen. I love Van
You
Rooyen.
love yourself some Van Rooyen.
Dude,
You
he's
picked
the
him
man.
last
He's
year.
wearing joggers. I love him. He's
I'm
the
just
guy.
running through one more time, see if there's anything that stands out to me.
Okay, so Hunter Mahan's playing.
Yep.
I saw that. I didn't mention it.
No. Why
I mean, Gary Woodland is a guy that we didn't talk much about that he has a chance to go out and win this tournament.
For me, it's another like.
Yeah, hasn't played in a while.
So you haven't mentioned Abraham.
Yeah,
He let me down last week.
yeah, he's still a good player that can do something, but
I'm always throwing some like top 20 money on Ches Reavie.
Yeah.
That guy just plays
As you
golf.
should.
yeah.
He just
I
he's
would
just
love.
steady Eddie.
I would love to see. I'm going to agree with you. I'd love to see Ricky Fowler.
I have a very strong feeling about it. I don't like it's maybe it's being a fan, maybe it's influencing it, but it's just like that's his narrative, man. Is when he gets like spurned a little bit, like he's just like, all right, like let me remind you that like I am when I'm playing my best, a top 5 golfer in the world. Like he doesn't show.
But
it
he
that often.
just my thing right now is he just hasn't played like a top 5 golfer in the last 3 years.
Yeah, but he wasn't going into the players either.
I don't disagree with you. I just it's the same thing we were talking about with Brooks Koepka. When he won 4 majors in a short span of time, was it just one of those things where he found something that worked and it's disappeared for him? And it's like Jason Day and Jordan Spieth. Like the fire was bright for a really short amount of time and then just fizzled out. I mean, I hope that's not the case, but I just
you don't putt as well as he does and hit it as far. Like Spieth had the putter and then lost that, but Koepka's got the putter and the driver. He's what Cameron Champ could be, in my opinion.
all right. Okay, so let's make a couple picks here quick. Dan, why don't we start with you? I'm curious if people can hear you because of how far away from me you're sitting, so maybe try and volume up a little bit. But who you got this week? Who are your 3 picks?
Are we doing like pick one, pick 2, or just you just want me to go 3?
Just go 3, and then Tommy can go 3. I'll go 3.
Well, I'm gonna go. Long shot is Joel Damon.
I just don't think that's that long of
I
a
don't
shot.
even really consider that as much of a long shot, but and then I would say 2 strong picks for me are going to be. I might regret this, but Finau
I like that pick.
and oh god, I'll go. You know what? Screw it. I'll go with Koepka. Screw it.
Oh boy.
I don't.
Really reaching, man.
We'll see. I don't know. Is that dumb? Because I just feel like you can't look at this list and not just see Koepka's name and just be like,
No,
okay,
of course
like,
you got it. You got it.
I
But
just feel like he always
it's the
has a
same thing.
chance.
Like you can't say that guys like Gary Woodland are using this as a tune-up, and then look at a guy like Koepka who's barely played 2 and say he's not. Even though he came out and said, "Oh, I'm here to win," like you still can't.
I just think Brooks Koepka's a
So Tommy, I already wrote your name next to Fowler.
Fowler.
Yeah.
Fowler is my
Yeah.
pick. I guess my 2 value picks. I'm going with Kyle Stanley and Lance Griffin.
clutch. Lance Griffin's
Kyle Stanley just plays good golf, man.
he always plays good all the time.
Just a guy that kind of like a tier 2, tier 3 guy that just he always comes out and plays. I don't know if I'm just gonna leave it at that.
So I'm gonna take Matthew Wolf for sure. Cameron Champ is definitely getting some of my money this weekend. whether it's top 20 or whatever. So Wolf, Champ, and then my I think Sam Burns is going to be a guy that competes this week. So I'm going to throw.
Champ a lot. I was going for. I considered him like a tier 1 guy, so I don't want to go tier 1 guys. But
Yeah, well,
if I'm throwing my money this week, I'm throwing a lot on Fowler, a little on Champ, and then sprinkle.
Uh-oh. I just threw a paperclip into my life. It's on the ground. All right, so now on to what Dan's been waiting for, the Abu Dhabi European Tour.
I get so giddy about this tournament.
He really does.
It's my favorite nominated tournament of the year.
He really does.
For no reason. Just love it. It's great.
Apparently it wants me to remove you, Tommy. There we go.
Anything in Dubai.
So we've got the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship. It's at the Abu Dhabi Golf Club. I got two different
things before we even talk about it. I literally know nothing about this tournament and have no good value to contribute to this.
Okay.
But I will guarantee not a win, not a top 10, but a top 5 from Rafa Cabrera.
Ooh.
Out of doubt. Will not win. Will not get in the top 10, but will be in the top 5.
All right, I'm writing that down. Writing it down.
Yeah, but that's just strong pick. That's the thing. I don't think you're crazy for saying.
But it's true. He'll get he's gonna get second because that's what he does.
Hey, before we start this, we're going to throw a quick shout out to Thrive Fantasy app. If you go to Thrive Fantasy app and sign up and use the promo code PTP2021, you will get they will match your deposit up $20 and over up to $50. So head in there, PTP2021 as a promo code at Thrive Fantasy app. They have a bunch of prop bets. It's a ton of fun. I got on the other day, checked it out. For golf, it's awesome because the bets are simple. It's not win or lose. It's prop bets. So, is he going to shoot 65 or better? Is he going to shoot 70 or worse? How many birdies is somebody going to have? Check it out. Thrive Fantasy app. It's awesome. Promo code PTP2021, and you'll get some deposit bonus. So, all right.
Rafa, somewhere between 2nd and 5th place.
Top 5 for Rafa Cabrera.
Okay. I want it to be very important to note that he will not win.
You can mark me for a top 5 for Rory.
Okay. So, all right, the Dubai or the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship, 7,500 yards, almost 76. It's 75-83, par 72, big course. Okay. Now, I don't know anything about Abu Dhabi. Does the ball travel better out there? It's a desert course, so it's hard.
It's not, I wouldn't say it travels further.
Yeah, but you can run the ball because everything's hard.
Yeah, everything's
right. Couple of, you got your chalk favorites here. Rory is obviously the odds-on favorite because he's Rory McIlroy. But Justin Thomas playing in this event this year, he is, depending on what betting app you're looking at, they're both the same odds. They're both plus 600. They're both good picks if you're looking for a winner. But this field is stupid strong. So it's almost like the last one, lots of small bets.
Me and you are on the same page, man.
Oh,
I was literally just about to rave about it.
We haven't talked about this whatsoever.
So let me just rattle off some things here.
Yeah, right here.
You got your chalk talk, but then I think right after that chalk, you fill in with 3 guys like Tommy Fleetwood, Hatton, and Fitzpatrick.
Tommy Fleetwood's not chalk.
Tommy Fleetwood's the man.
He's not chalk.
That's crazy.
The only 2 chalk picks right now, as far as the betting world is concerned, is Rory and JT.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm talking about betting. That's what I'm sitting here talking about. All right. Tommy Fleetwood.
Your best picks like this.
Well, no, it's as far as
you're saying the absolute top picks.
Right. I mean, as far as it goes, Fleetwood's won this event twice. Obviously, as far as good players go, he's chalk. Yeah. But when it comes to who the odds are, it's Rory and JT get the plus 600, and after that, everybody's over plus 1,000. So it's
I just think Rory's gonna win. I don't know.
I have 3 picks to win. I
I like Fitzpatrick a lot in this.
Oh, Matt Fitzpatrick. Patrick.
Yeah.
I absolutely was going to start this by saying, can you bet on someone to miss the cut? And it was going to be, yeah, I bet on Matt.
Dude,
Missed
he
the cut.
owns the desert.
Dude, yeah.
He also is absolutely trash.
All right.
He's god awful.
I mean, he won in Dubai. Like, he closed out 2020 with a win in Dubai.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's
But-
from
That's, yeah. He's,
he goes, he's just
He's the guy, like, every time you bet on him, it's like, dang, he's 7 over. That sucks. Like, that's who Matt Pat, like, he's the guy who wins when you don't bet on. I don't know.
and then a couple other guys that you got in this field that everybody knows are Shane Lowry, Justin Rose. You know, they'll be in the hunt. I like Victor Perez. He was runner-up last year, 7th in the Dubai run. He strikes it great. He fits this course profile really well. Plays well in these desert courses. You know, so no, I didn't get any of the betting odds today.
Eddie Pepperell's playing in this. What a guy. Love that guy.
What's up, Coyle? I've been looking at you all freaking week on video edits, man.
What? Oh, did you? Eddie Pepperell.
You forgot 2 of my 3 so far.
Can I guess the third one?
You probably can.
This is the third one, Tom Lewis.
Oh, I love Tom.
I think Tom Lewis plays well this week as well.
no,
Yeah,
Such a good pick.
lots of.
Carol Hatton.
I don't hate any
I
golf.
like Carol Hatton. He's funny.
No, that dude just like I get it. I have one. I'm good for one like F-bomb around, but like it's just every hole. It's just so annoying. Hits a shot, throws his club in the air, like lands at 15 feet. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, but Hideki's
But Hideki isn't as dramatic.
But he says it in Japanese, so
No,
you don't know.
no, no, but like
True.
he just drops his hands. Like it's a whole production to put that. Like it's like
It's because he's 5'4".
He's got to put on a little.
He's got to be. He's got to do. It's like
I
damn.
just
When you're
think he's
small,
gonna
you
be on
got.
the next production of like Hamilton or something. Like that's what I think that's his calling after golf is Broadway.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Thanks, Coyle. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Except for me, I got to sit here with Ty all day.
No, I said I've been looking at him for the last couple of days on video, and he goes, "Lucky you." It's been a pleasure. All right, so Dan, why don't you kick us off here? What are you really looking for in this event? Who do you like the most?
From 2009. Okay. Every year.
If you say Martin Keimer, no
Nope.
way.
From 2009, Rory McIlroy went 5th, 3rd, 2nd, 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 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 3rd. You can't tell me he's not a lock for top 5.
that's pretty good. Then.
Absolutely.
Pretty good numbers, as far as I'm
Well,
concerned.
shit.
Yeah, well, shit, exactly. Like Rory McIlroy is either going to win or is he going to be in the top? He's going to be in the top.
I offer no rebuttal.
No, there is no rebuttal. Like, but I mean, my thing right now is if you're watching this podcast and you need somebody to tell you to bet on Rory McIlroy, you can talk about it instead of just pointing at it.
Hao Tong Lee is so good at
He's
golf.
so good.
He's so good at golf, and I think he's going to do really
Tommy and Dan just keep like showing each other their sheets and circling names and not talking about it, even though we're on a podcast. Like,
to put our picks out there, you know, I thought.
Well, I
build
mean,
up the anticipation.
all we did was talk about player after player in the Amex before we
All right,
announced our
let's
picks.
get into it. Let's get into it. man.
Jesus Christ.
Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood are both in the top 5.
I have 4 names circled, and I'm going to start from most likely to win to your dark horse that you should take. And
Okay.
your most likely to win is Robert McIntyre. First
Yes!
of all,
Yes!
guarantee
Yes!
you won't even be in the top 20 betting wise.
Love
But
it.
if you want a really good freaking golfer who
Yes.
can win anywhere
Anyway.
and will make you a lot of money, it's Robert McIntyre.
Dude, also Robert McIntyre is just the man. Like he's the type of guy that could go out shoot you
Yeah.
could casually shoot a 62 and then go out and just get smashed with his butt.
I was watching
and then show up the
I was
next
watching the European tour once, and I think he grew up on a 7-hole course. That's what he grew up learning golf on.
That's even more pure.
And that he just
No, he's touring the world playing on the European
Yeah.
tour, casual.
that could be entirely inaccurate. I don't know. But you know what? I'm gonna go out and say I think I remember that happening.
All right, who's your next guy?
Matt Wallace.
Matt Wallace,
Who
I
will
like.
win a British Open in the next decade.
I like Matt Wallace a
No,
lot. I like
Matt
that
Wallace,
pick.
too. That's a strong pick.
I don't have my pen anymore. I need it back.
There you go. All right, I'm done with it.
Thanks.
Eddie Pepperell.
Yes. Yeah.
Also a
All
very
things
strong pick.
All things Eddie Pepperell, I'm down with.
And my long shot, who has been trending for the last year, very, very under the radar.
Yeah.
Padraig Harrington.
Ooh.
I don't think he'll do anything, but good dark horse.
But I mean, if you're looking for a dark horse, he has played well over the last year, and has been trending that way for a while. And if you want my pick, what's it called? My prop bet of the week, it's miscut from Matt Fitzpatrick. There you go.
It's just because he hates Matt.
I literally, that was as soon as I saw it, I said I was looking down the list. I was like, I haven't seen one that I would bet on yet, but I have seen who's going to miss the cut. I don't know if you can bet on that,
So-
but if you can, I'm sure the odds are great.
No one likes Lee Westwood to repeat, huh? He won it last year.
I won't say I don't like him too, because Lee Westwood
Playing good golf.
always has a chance to win.
And he's-
on the European.
Yep, and he's playing great
Every
golf.
time. It doesn't. You could.
He
literally
comes
put-
as second he gets on a plane to fly to the United States, just forget about it. He's not going to win.
Yeah.
But in Europe and the European Tour, he is.
He
he's
knows how to play golf over there. He really does.
What's that?
He knows how to play golf over there.
No, I'm sorry. I like him as a guy that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they just play this tournament, like the 2020 version of this tournament, like a few weeks ago?
No, that was the race to
Or is
Dubai.
That was the race to do.
Yeah.
There's three
Abu
courses.
Dhabi.
that-
That's a different place.
Yes, there's three courses. There's three courses that they play.
I did the same thing
There's
earlier.
three courses they play in Dubai. It's the L's Club, which is the Dubai Desert Classic. There's this
Yep.
one, and then there's the course they play for racing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely.
And I will play all three in my life.
I wonder what Lee Westwood.
I'm determined.
If Lee Westwood has any like outside of top 10 odds, it's definitely very good.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. I
But
like
he's
him
like-
in the top 10. Like that's.
Yeah, same.
I'm not picking him to win. I mean, I just lucked out last week with Kevin Na picking someone to win. Like that was just a lucky bet. When you pick a winner in golf, it is a lucky bet. Like if you're making your money, educated guess, sure, but there's just the fields are too big to be able to say like it's a luck that
You
he's
guys
going to
have been
win.
into golf, so like, what was it like just being like, yeah, Tiger will win? Like,
Well,
what was that like?
it was stupid. Like the
'Cause I
bets,
didn't know-
so
I
like
just
betting
started
apps and
playing
stuff like
TV.
that weren't big back then. So like you didn't have the like
Yeah, but
you know the
it's like-
DraftKings, but it was always Tiger or the field.
Yeah, Vegas was
Like you
literally
you
took Tiger.
literally like
Anyone else.
you could
Like,
take
yeah,
anyone
exactly.
else and you would make a shit ton of money. If you took
Like,
Tiger,
you
you
would be
barely
paid,
made
like,
anything.
Like, so imagine a football game, right? Where
Yeah.
team A versus team B, right? And there's a favorite. Tiger was the favorite, except for B. The other team B was the other 155 players.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah, it
matter
was
who
nuts.
was.
Yep.
It could have been Phil Mickelson, and you still would have made more money Phil winning.
Yep.
Having 150
Wasn't even and it wasn't even close.
I think he was favored like 1 to 2, whatever like the opposite.
Oh, it was 2-1. Yeah.
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 Like he had like there was a higher odds of him not winning than him winning.
That's insane. That's just crazy. Like I wish I would have been able to experience that. But yeah.
And there's a reason I grew up with a Tiger Woods kids golf set. You know. I mean,
Yep.
dude,
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Like crazy.
You also got Ian Poulter in the field. I'm not an Ian Poulter fan, but he's always in the top 20.
Actually, that's not true. I only hate Ian Poulter when
Well, you're supposed to hate all the European. I hate Rory during the Ryder Cup, but I don't hate him after the Ryder Cup.
But Ian Poulter's like a special kind of annoying. He's not that good,
Yeah, but
but he like becomes that good.
like
for
Ian
Rory.
Poulter's so like in the Ryder Cup, like you can just like, for instance, right? Rory and Patrick Reed battling it out.
Mhm.
First thing that Rory did when Patrick Reed drained that putt and went like this is he stayed at the green to fucking give him a handshake and put his arm around him.
Yeah.
That was a great fucking putt. Like that was a great exchange. That's Rory. Poulter didn't do that shit. Poulter
Watch
what?
that. dude.
Yeah, like Poulter would have been like, yeah, like fuck you, like you just made that putt, like you know, like I don't know. That's
Do we-
just me.
I feel like you're gonna really hate me for this. We talk about Martin Keimer at all.
We haven't, but I mean, he's
I like
won it 3
You
times.
like Martin Keimer? Yeah, I love Martin
He's won this event 3 times.
He's
So
just that
dumb.
guy who has kind of lost his game, but occasionally just remembers, oh yeah, I was once the #1 player in the world.
Well,
He is
and
great.
walking into a place like this that he's won 3 previous
Yeah.
times, like I'm not saying he's a terrible
And
bet.
like, people forget that he's won 2 majors.
Yeah,
Exactly, but,
By like a
absolutely.
lot.
but like
Yeah.
you know, he generally doesn't play very well anymore. But like occasionally, he's like, "Oh yeah, I won 2 majors and was number 1 in the world," and then like just snaps, shoots
Like I'm just gonna remind you who I am.
yeah, real quick. Like,
I know it's his first appearance in this event, and I know that I slurp on JT probably too much, but I feel like he is going to come out and play really well
Oh,
this
I
week.
think he's pissed
Like
off.
he made a mistake that like it isn't about him, and he just right now he's got a redemption thing going on. I'm sure. I see him playing well this week.
I see it either way. I feel like he comes out and does really well because he's pissed, but at the same time, it could be like I'm still kind of embarrassed from what happened. And he's distracted, so I'm personally
I don't know,
not putting
man.
any money on it.
I look at it like this. He's the type of guy like, and you've been around athletes like this, like they rise to the occasion. They don't crumble to the pressure. Like a guy like him, this is just one more thing for him to say, all right, fine, I'm just gonna beat it.
Yeah.
Like so I don't know. And maybe I'm way wrong there, but if it was somebody different, you know, maybe. If it was like Patrick Reed, like, okay, Patrick Reed after the whole like wedge in the sand thing, like did not play real well for a little while.
Yeah.
But that's because he's soft. Like I just don't see JT as a
I guess
soft
my
guy.
thing is,
Like
there's Ryan. That's where I'm riding that line because no one did it to him but himself. You know.
but that's exactly why I think that it's
he came out too and said that like that word's not even in my vocabulary.
yeah.
Normal
He
life,
made
like,
it.
it's not like I'm going around saying like, oh, this,
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like he's like, it was just I was so ingrained in what I was doing.
I honestly think that he was trying to stop himself from saying fuck.
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
and
And
look,
it made it 100 times worse.
absolutely 100%.
But
But
like he didn't say fucking
right.
that. He was just
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But it is, you know, I just, like I said, I'm not condoning what he did in any
No,
shape
yeah,
or
no.
form. I just think that he's the type of kid that comes out here and is like, you know what? I'm going to make everybody forget about that and just go the hell off.
Yeah, just
Like,
Yeah.
I
so-
like that. I like that.
I think the faster it gets back to good play, the
Yeah.
faster it's gonna be.
well, and his game's in a good place right now. Like, I don't see
The guy I'm
him.
gonna mention too has he's not gonna win, he's not gonna do anything, but I just love him because he's the Asian John Daly. Kiradek Archibald.
Yeah.
Love him, fantastic. Ever since I saw him blow a massive cloud of vape at Augusta National on the driving range, I've been like, okay, respect. Like,
Cool.
he literally just pulled it out and was like,
They just did it.
just blew a massive cloud and then just stuck it back in his pocket. And apparently they were like, yeah, you can't ever do that. And he was like, I'm still gonna do it. But I am. I'm Kiradek Archibald.
Dude, I mean, it's.
One guy to contend we haven't talked about, and one guy that, well, I'm not gonna say it's contend, but if we're talking prop bets and talking, let's say top 20 conservatively, Justin Rose is someone we haven't talked about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Wild.
I put him. I said Shane Lowry and Justin Rose also will
Okay,
be in the
so
hunt.
we talked
But
about it.
We didn't go into any detail, but yeah, top 20
a really
is.
good top 20 pick, Brandon Stone.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
right there at the bottom of the list. I think he got hit in the head a little bit.
yeah,
He was
absolutely.
He had a top 10 in the British Open a few years ago
Mm-hmm.
when Molinari won. So he got the lucky kick off the grandstand, but
Hey man,
he also won. I think he has the only 59 in European Tour history, or shot 60. I forget.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's a guy to definitely keep an eye on.
I get a kick out of the viewers. Like we get like our numbers like go up and down, and like every now and again it'll go up and then it drops off like in a heartbeat. We only get like tops like 8 or 9 at a time.
Yeah.
So like when it goes up to like 9 and then just drops off real quick, I'm like, so you stopped in for 30 seconds. But all right. So when Dan gets back, I think he went to the bathroom. We'll make our picks. We'll wrap ourselves up, and we'll go from there. A couple of shout outs, quick. Obviously, as always, thank you to the Painted Lions for hosting us on their YouTube channel. It's awesome. Check them out, the Painted Lions. They cover all of Philly sports and now some golf, some entertainment stuff. Make sure you check out the Painted Lions. Golf, etc. Lancaster, get in here, get fitted. I can't tell you how important it is to get fitted to play golf.
Sure.
It doesn't matter if you're a 30 handicap or if you're a scratch.
Yeah.
Get fitted. It will help.
There's no such thing as not being good enough at golf to justify it.
Exactly. Pull the Pin podcast, obviously. PTP. Tommy was showing some gear on his arm. Woo! We have some of that stuff here in the store that you can come pick up. Travis Matthews stuff you can come into the store and pick up.
Yep. Official Travis Matthew ambassador, actually. Nowadays.
Wow.
So Travis Matthew ambassador, we got it down in the store. As always, Callaway staff got this beautiful little head cover here, just flexing. Constantly flexing. Callaway, Travis Matthew available at the store. All your major brands are available for fitting. We're gonna have Strix on back soon, I hope. So hopefully in the next month or so we'll have Strix on back. So, but we, if you're looking for new clubs, if you're looking for new clubs that aren't PXG, we got them.
Yeah. So, we one last thing. If you're a 4 handicap like myself, you do not need to feel inadequate when you're hanging around people who are good. All right. All right. Let's make some picks here on the Abu Dhabi, and we'll close up shop.
We're gonna let Tom go first.
All right, I like it.
Official picks. So I'm gonna go. I don't even know if it's blue chip, but my real pick is Robert McIntyre.
Okay.
That's real.
He goes. That's real.
For my long.
I'm not even writing them down because I'm gonna rewatch this.
I'm gonna go to.
That's how I know I won
Brandon
last week.
Stone is my mid-range pick to maybe do a little something. I don't know if I'm gonna go ahead and say win, but if you want to prospect a top 20, definitely even maybe top 10. Yeah, definitely maybe strong.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good pick. And my long shot pick to win is Patrick Harrington. I think he's in trending. I'm sure he's got ridiculous odds. So if you're looking, I'm always the guy looking for that dark horse. So
we're doing 2 strong picks in the dark horse.
Yep, and I'll let you. You can go last.
You can pick whoever you want. I did my real pick, Robert McIntyre. I did mid-level kind of like value pick, and then I did my dark horse. Gotcha.
So I mean, I'm going JT's the blue chip. Shane Lowry is going to be my second tier, and then my third pick would be Fleetwood, but I'm going to go Tom Lewis. I think Tom Lewis does something this weekend. In fact, that's where my money is going, not to win, but to be in the top 10. I'm going to throw money on Tom Lewis. That's going to be my big bet of the week. He's 30 years old. He's looking to make a leap here. He dropped out of the top 50. He is my Ricky this week. He's trying to get back into the top 50 so he can play in the Masters.
Ooh. Also, just throwing out there, just saw his name, Ryan Fox.
Yes.
Always good pick.
Always good pick.
When you're talking European tour. Sorry.
All right, Danny.
Blue chip, same as you. Justin Thomas. And then my 2 other guys, Tommy and Rory.
How's Rory now your blue chip pick?
I thought my blue chip pick was the
You're fine.
You're fine.
I love it.
No,
I love it.
Is that to win?
Yeah.
Blue chip? Oh, yeah, then that's Rory.
Yeah.
Screw that. Okay, I thought
It's
blue
fine.
chip was meant like the dark horse. Oh, okay. Then that's Rory. Blue chip's definitely Rory. Rory's going to win this tournament.
I think Coyle hung around for this whole show,
And then-
man. Highly recommend getting fitted. Great experience. Thanks,
and then,
Coyle.
yeah, the other 2 are JT and Tommy.
Love it. Love it. All right, fellas. We're getting ready to tag out here. Couple of things to clean up shop. Dan, anything to plug or let anybody know about? His Instagram's down there at Golf Is Life.
Oh, wait. Right.
Yeah.
No, honestly, just going back to the whole fitting thing, like, don't feel like that you're ever like not good enough to get fitted.
Yep.
It's only going to help you. End of story. Like it's never going to hurt you. So yeah, I mean that's just so important.
Tommy?
Golf Center Lancaster as always. For all your fitting needs, we're looking at making the name change here officially to Pull the Pin in February. So in case you're ever wondering where the podcast name come from, I will hopefully here in the next 30 days we'll have a new sign up and Pull the Pin. Golf Center will be Pull the Pin going forward. So
That is awesome news. That's awesome. Congratulations, Tommy.
Yep.
I will echo all of what they said. Follow us at Twitter, PTP 2021. During these rounds, I'm almost always sitting on my couch tweeting out highlights as the rounds go on. It'll be interesting for the Dubai or the Abu Dhabi because that'll be like early Saturday morning, which I'll definitely be on for. Yeah, so if you're looking for something there, take a look. Make sure you get fitted. Make sure you get in here to golf, etc. And also, one last shout out to Thrive Fantasy app. Use promo code PTP 2021 to get a deposit match up to $50 with a $20 deposit. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Follow us at PTP 2021 on Twitter. We'll catch you next week.